Welcome to this week's edition of Friday Night Fever, or F&F as the kids like to call it. I am Jim Holder. He is Andy Lee, the one and only Andy Lee. Thank you so much for joining us. Finally, Andy, everyone has reached division play. We've talked about 1A and 5A and 6A, but finally tonight, everybody. Now all the games mean more starting tonight in week number 7.
They all count. They all count from the beginning, but they really count now because this is how you build your resume towards the playoffs. And I don't know about you, I'm fired up to be here tonight. Maybe it was those pumpkin spice lattes I chugged in the parking lot. But nevertheless, man, I am stoked to be here tonight.
I did not have those lattes. I'm glad I skipped those. Matt wants some as well. That's interesting. Hey, scores under ticker as always. You see Columbus getting the loss to Tupelo tonight. Tupelo getting a big win on the road. You'll see those highlights a little bit later on. We begin with our busy lad game of the week. Okolona at Smithville from the Swamp. And here we go. Teams ready to take the field. And this is a big game in Division 1, 1A. They were both 3-0 coming into this one. And Smithville starting things off with a bang. This is the opening kickoff of the game. Landon McMillan here. Watch him, Andy. A big hole, first of all, and he's gone. I mean, this is the opening kickoff of the game, and Smithville, just like that, is on top, 6-0, and the fans are fired up, and really fired up, and why not? So Okolona trying to come back on its ensuing possession. Ja'Coria Stanfield, you know he's going to get his yards, 8-yard run. Chieftains fans excited about that, but Okolona did have to punt the football, but they do get the football back a little bit later on, and Stanfield again, but it's fumbled. A little slick out there tonight, Andy, after all that rain we had, and Todd Cowley making the recovery for the Seminoles, and the Seminoles defense really stepped up tonight. A little bit later on, Octavian Miller of Smithville trying to connect with Bo Stevens, and watch here, Daquan Johnson's going to pick it off. He'll return it back 25 yards. Smithville was up for most of this game. In fact, they were up big. Okolona made a late rally, but in the end, it's going to be Smithville getting the win. They're now 4-0 in that division and lead at 27-23 is that final. Two
good teams, 1-4A action. New Albany hosting Senatobia, and that's the New Albany Shockers youth football team leading the Bulldogs onto historic Kitchens Field. Promising opening drive for the Bulldogs, but Loden Bolin is picked off by Nigeria Young. So Senatobia in business. But one play later, the Warriors return the favor. DeAndre House fumbles. It's recovered by New Albany's Alex Muirfield. And the Bulldogs immediately cash in on the turnover. Watch Bryson Prather. That's why you always keep the legs moving. Almost brought down. Keeps churning the legs. 24 yards later, he finds the end zone PAT, no good. 6-0. New Albany, fireworks going. Senatobia would turn it over again. Prather from 1 yard out. That made it 13-0. This was back and forth. Senatobia scores late to steal a 26-23 victory.
It was a wild one indeed. All right, South Pontotoc at Hatley. The Tigers have had a nice season. Here they are coming out through the stands, past their fans.
Tiger walk.
Yes, they were, and they were ready to go. Watch Will Cantrell. He's going to run. He's going to run. No, wait, he's going to throw, Andy, to a wide open receiver who's not listed in Max Preps, unfortunately. But it is a touchdown for Hatley, and the Tigers are on top early 7-0. And the Cougars would answer. And he's all over our highlights when it's South Pontotoc, Andy. It's Eddie Ivey. Of course, he's going to go for a first down, brought down out of bounds on the Hatley side there. Hatley faced 4th and long deep in Hatley territory at around the 11-yard line. Eli Allen looking and finding, guess who? It's Brett Riley just making another outstanding catch. Allen just dropped it in there, made it 7-7. Hatley built a lead in this one, though. In the end, Hatley getting the win at home, 45-29.
Big win for the Tigers. It was homecoming at Pontotoc. Warriors hosting Moorville. That's court member Joanna Browning. Pontotoc did most of its damage in the first half, 39-0 in the second half running clock, but no quit in Moorville. That's a first down run for Dawson Phillips. Early in the fourth quarter, Phillips, he's going to throw and get intercepted by Marty Reel. And Reel can't put this one on the huddle reel. Whoop! Look at the nice run back all the way inside the 5-yard line down to the 2-yard line. And this man single-handedly keeping the dab alive. And a couple plays later, Emmanuel Vance punches it in from a yard out. Pontotoc rolls tonight on homecoming, 46-0.
Aberdeen at Nettleton. This one wound up being a very wild one, yes. Yeah, we see you. All right. Here we go. Aberdeen was up 8-0 with the Bulldogs. Second quarter, Graham Gardner to Dedrick Johnson. Johnson's going to do the rest here, Andy. Here he goes.
Oh, man.
When you're in the screen by yourself,
he's like, watch, is someone going to get me?
Not quite. Touchdown. They don't chase points. They kick the extra point, make it 8-7. So Nettleton back in it. Aberdeen's next possession. Fred Fields, and this will take a while to develop. He's back to throw, looking, can't find anyone. He's going to run around and then maybe run and possibly still try to throw. Meanwhile, I'm going to try and get out of the way because I know he's coming my way. This is kind of like the Fran Tarkington days, and I've continued to get out of the way, and which was a smart move by myself. Middleton or Aberdeen forced a punt. Then Johnson, how many touchdowns you got? You got 2. Gardner to Johnson again. 2 touchdowns for him, made it 13-8 Middleton at halftime. But Aberdeen, resilient. Aberdeen comes back to win on the road. 32-27 is that final.
Hickory Flat at Myrtle. These two teams met 2 weeks ago. Myrtle, the home team tonight. Early second quarter, Ethan Hurts with a touchdown. That made it 30-0 Myrtle at that point, so they'd start a running clock. Next Myrtle possession, A.I. Nugent, the Nuge. Big first down run into Rebels territory. Hard guy to bring down. And then Jaden Taylor's going to roll the pocket and find Elijah Thompson for a big gain down inside the 20-yard line. And who else? Coffee is for closers. A.I. Nugent is definitely a closer. That's a touchdown run. PAT no good. 36-0 Myrtle at that point. And then right before halftime, Jackson Mayer. This touchdown is a wonderland. That's makes it 43-0 at the break. 50-0 Myrtle wins this one. 6-1 on the year. They will close out their season next week against Middleton, Tennessee.
And Myrtle's only loss this season has been to TCPS, and the Eagles were celebrating homecoming tonight. Mally Powell, the homecoming queen, she was crowned there at halftime. Getting her crown and a nice crowd on hand to cheer her on. It was 41-6, by the way, Eagles at halftime, and they continue to pour it on early in the third quarter. Cody Coggins with a big run, and that will go for a first down. And that would set up another play for Sean Holliday's team. John Avery Harrod here, watch him here. Around the end, 25 yards later, he will score the touchdown. That made it 47-6 at that point. And TCPS having a nice season where they roll in this one. 69-12 is that final.
The Maroon Bowl. If you like defense, this was the game for you tonight. East Webster hosting Eupora. Opening drive. And Stephen Betts takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He is jacked up, as they used to say, by Preston Perkins of Eupora. Yeah, fans always get into this one. Maroon Mafia. On the drive, later in the drive, Tyreek Pittman takes the carry and weaves his way for a first down. And now on first down, Betts needs to get the Wolverine offense going and connects with Connor Sheridan. That's a first down. Now you'll see Pittman take the carry again in the red zone. This time he's met by a flock of Eagles. Nice writing there, Evan. A flock of Eagles. The Eagles now on offense. Handed off to big boy Preston Perkins, and he's racked up for a loss. Not a lot of offense in this one, but East Webster wins the Maroon Bowl 7-6.
Wow. Big win, so they get bragging rights there in Webster County.
Sure
A flock of eagles as opposed to a flock of seagulls.
Right.
You knew I was going to do that. The Rock and Roll Brainiac was going to do that. A big band there, or a band with a couple of hits.
Space Age love song.
Yes, out of the 1980s. Wishing. We could sit there all night talking about it.
Yeah.
We're going to talk rock and roll. We're going to talk football. We'll talk all of it, as a matter of fact. A lot of great games. Of course, Evan was there live earlier, and we appreciate him doing it. We've got his Choctaw County, Houston highlights coming up in just a bit. But right now, you know, we have an Instagram contest. Like you didn't know that by now. We have an Instagram contest each week. And I think this is a fun thing we do. We've always done band and cheerleaders for many, many years, but we've added this Instagram contest in recent years, and it's been a lot of fun. A lot of votes again this week, and this week's winner was Smithville. It was Smithville.
All right.
So it seems like we've had this pattern lately. Whoever wins the game, the other team wins the Instagram vote. But in this case, it was all Smithville as they win the Instagram vote. So we're going to hear from the Smithville Band in a minute, just after the break. So stay tuned for that. But right now, the Smithville cheerleaders are going to take us to the break.
We're the Seminole Cheerleaders, and you're watching Friday Night Fever, WTVA 9 News. Let's go Seminole!
All right, our band of the week from Smithville.
Looking
Great job.
good, sounding good.
Kind of did the little tomahawk chop, I think, and then all the other little things. So great job by them. They won the Instagram contest for our band and cheerleaders of the week. Welcome back to Friday Night Fever. I'm Jim. He's Andy. Hopefully you knew that. Scores continuing on our ticker. North Pontotoc. You'll see those highlights here in just a second. Choctaw County and Houston. Houston, of course, had the tragedy recently with the loss of William Anderson, and they played their first home game tonight since his passing, taking on Choctaw County, a big division game, the division opener. Let's show you highlights of that one. And there you see it, honoring his memory tonight. And here we go with the highlights. Second quarter. Choctaw County with the football. Tyler Carter looking deep, finding Wes McNeil, who falls just a few yards short of scoring. A few plays later, Carter's going to take it in himself, cutting the lead down to 14. Houston had built up a lead in this one. But, you know, Houston's had a big year out of Jalen May.
Yes.
And May is going to, well, we've said this many times, why not one more time? Probably one of several more times this season. Look at him go, Andy. 60 yards, and again, just on screen by himself, outrunning everybody. 60-yard touchdown, and Houston building up a big lead in this one. And then Topper's back on offense a little bit later on. Gage Harrington thrown to his left. It's going to be picked off here by Israel Whitmore on the tip, but fine effort by Choctaw County, but no one was going to be Houston on this night, as the Hilltoppers get the win at home, 54-21.
All right, 6A action. Tupelo visiting Columbus. There you see the Wave with a 7-0 lead off a J-Rock 75-yard touchdown, and it goes dark. But it returns. See, this defensive struggle all night long, guys. Struggling to find running room. The J-Rock touchdown made it 7-0. Tupelo gets an interception late to seal a 14-7 victory. So Tupelo goes down to Columbus and wins this one. Well, I thought it was 14-7, but you got 14. I know Tupelo gets the win.
Tupelo does get the win, and that's big coming off the win last week, so they're now 2-0 in the division. How about Amory at Itawamba AHS? Late second quarter, Indians up 21-3. Amory with the ball. Hunter Jones will be sacked by a host of Indians from Itawamba AHS. Cheerleaders fired up after that big stop. Next possession there for Itawamba. Jackson Orr finding Davion Sistrunk. 35 yards, and that is going to go for a first down. Coach Hoots and his staff liking that play. Amory's defense, though, holding strong on this drive. Casey Ivey, you know, he also plays linebacker, and he gets a sack on this play. But in the end, it's going to be Itawamba AHS getting the win, 49-30.
Belmont hosting North Pontotoc. Here come the Cardinals. The Vikings trying to get to 7-0 on this night. The Belmont student section, as always, man, they bring the energy, rocking and rolling. Just Captain America right there.
Yeah.
The Belmont Cardinals with the ball first. Garrett Rooker hands off to Luke Smith for a 6-yard gain, but this Cardinal drive would stall. North Pontotoc quarterback Corley Hooper takes it himself down the middle for a 25-yard gain. The Viking cheerleaders looking for a touchdown. They'd get it from their man Corley Hooper, 15 yards to the house, and North Pontotoc prevails in this one, 49-6.
And the Vikings still undefeated on the season. All right, time for our social media center. Danielle Oropeza, she takes a look at what's happening on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, since that's social media.
Yes.
Danielle?
Not LinkedIn, though.
No. What's going on, Danielle?
Thank y'all. We started receiving pictures and videos a bit early this week. We had a game and events last night with the Tornadoes in town, the Philadelphia Tornadoes, that is. These Wildcat fans were all smile as Calhoun City High School took home a win with that 15-7 lead. We also received this picture on Facebook from a devoted Pontotoc fan. Monica Chu said she was surrounded by young, respectful young men all day, and they were showing her some love. Hashtag Go Warriors, hashtag Homecoming Week, hashtag Future Success Stories. And coming in tonight on Twitter, Tammy Christian tagged us in this picture of her daughter Audrey, who is in the Pontotoc High School band. And what I love about this picture is you can just hear the long drawn out mom. And this is days after hashtag National Daughter Day, which Michael Ann Oropeza forgot. So thanks, Mom. Also coming in on Twitter this evening, these Tupelo fans who are not too stressed because they are too blessed and Golden Wave obsessed. And Eupora fans really showed out tonight. Blake McMullen making this tweet saying Maroon Mafia cheering hard tonight. Hashtag Westside Best Side. And East Webster folks, are you going to take that? Come on now, send us your photos with hashtag Eastside Best Side. I know you have them. And what is Social Media Center without our videographer Alvin Ivy sending in this photo of some cheerful Hilltopper fans as they hosted Choctaw County. What a crowd it looks like. And it's not Friday Night Fever without our cheer and dance team showing all of their support. To the left are the Amory Panther dancers, and to the right, the Okolona Chieftain cheer squad at our game of the week at Smithville. And a little flashback Friday from Instagram, this gym posted by us back in September of 2014. Andy, do you still like to warm up before live shots? This has been a great week. We'll see you same time, same place for week 8. Keep those pictures and videos coming.
So that was a while back, wasn't it?
2014, yeah, it was a lot skinnier then.
Yeah, well,
I do like to show off the water pistol.
And you're a southpaw, right?
I'm accurate.
You're accurate.
Can't throw it deep, but I'm accurate.
Right. Well, especially when no one's rushing you.
Yeah.
When you're just out there practicing and just kind of doing your own thing, that certainly makes it a lot easier. So anyway, Daniela, thank you very much. We appreciate all those fans sending in all the pictures every single week. And our own Alvin Ivy as well, because why not? He's the kingpin of all that. So anyway, Friday Night Fever, Jim Holder, Andy Lee. Scores continuing on our ticker. Hopefully you saw those highlights earlier. We're going to continue with those. The Shannon Red Raiders, they've been red hot lately. They're on the road tonight facing the Caledonia Confederates. And Shannon was up 30-7. Their band putting on a nice show at halftime. And then the Red Raiders coming back first play. They rip off a huge run here. And this will go for a first down as Daryl Carter's team continuing to roll and looking to stay on top, rolling in their division as that gets underway. Oh, cue the cute baby. Then a touchdown run from 5 yards out, and the Red Raiders continuing to build their lead. After the celebration, Shannon's going to go for 2. It was successful, 38-7. Caledonia fighting back, though. Big one on the right side. Over on Wayne Herford.
Wayne ain't
gets
scared.
Yeah, no, he's not. But he gets out of the way, though.
Yeah.
And then Caledonia scoring the touchdown here. Cut it to 38-14, but nice effort by Caledonia. But Shannon is going to get the win tonight by the final score of 52-14.
Big game down in the Jackson metro area. Northwest Rankin hosting Starkville. Coaches firing up the kids on the sidelines. First quarter, Luke Altmaier touchdown to Rufus Harvey. Or to Rufus Harvey. Not quite a touchdown, but that's a first down. So it looked like Starkville was going to roll like everyone thought. Rodriguez Clark from 10 yards out. That puts the Yellow Jackets up 10-3. Not for long. After Starkville went up 13-3, Jamari Jones leads the team back down the field, hooks up with Marquise Tenner. 15-yard score for the Cougars. They're hanging around. The lead cut to 3. And guess who was in the house tonight?
Who?
The first NFL female official, Sarah Thomas. She'd like this too. Hayden Hill comes up with a huge sack. Momentum changes clothes, is now wearing black. Good writing there by Josh Jackson down at WAPT. Then it's Jones to Bridley Thomas. Cougars moving the ball on offense. Chris Godden would finish off a drive with a 42-yard field goal. 13-13 at the break, and Stankin Rankin gets the upset.
Wow.
27-20 over Starkville.
And it's a big win for Toby Collins and company. How about that? All right, Starkville lose suffering. Winona, they've done very well in 3A, and they were taking on Southeast Lauderdale. And here's Winona up 28-0. Blake Cooper scoring the touchdown. Southeast trying to answer. Malik Miller turning out some yardage here. And then up the middle again. This is going nowhere, and the Tigers of Southeast Lauderdale would not score in the half. This is a battle of Tigers versus Tigers. Will Coffey back to throw. He'll find Resultant there for the touchdown. Winona up 35-0 at halftime, and Winona rolling in this one by the final score of 42-14.
Let's rewind back to last night. Philadelphia at Calhoun City. The Wildcats chomping at the bit to take the field. Opening drive for City. Anthony Campbell rips off a big run into tornado territory. A few plays later, Campbell takes a quick pass from Chardarius Hill. Watch Campbell just fight for yards and pick up another Calhoun City first down. But the drive would yield no points as the Wildcats turn it over on downs. Next Calhoun City possession, it's Hayden Goodson with a big run deep into Philadelphia territory. However, this drive would end with a Wildcat missed field goal. Philly strikes first early in the second quarter. Asher Morgan finds Ledietrich Griffin. Griffin off to the races for an 80-yard touchdown, only scoring in the first half. But Calhoun City rallies to win this one 15-7.
All right, big win for Calhoun City at home. By the way, Calhoun City at home again next Thursday night. They're taking on East Webster. That game was moved. TCPS at Okolona. That is also on a Thursday. I've not looked at next week's schedule. I'm told there are some more Thursday night games or possible Thursday night games.
Well, Thursday Night Thunder.
Exactly. So if your game is being moved, let us know ASAP. Tonight would be a good time, as a matter of fact. So be sure to check in with us on that. That's going to do it for Friday Night Fever. Friday Night Fever on Fox is going to begin shortly on WLOV. If you missed any of these highlights, you just walked in the door. Have no fear. We'll post this show later. We'll also have more on Friday Night Fever on Fox. So be sure to stay tuned for that. For Andy Lee and our entire staff, I'm Jim Holder. Appreciate you watching as always. 7 weeks in the books. Hard to believe. Have a great night and a great weekend. Take care.